Death Spiral, the only anime podcast that records in a silly hat. I've got a silly little hat on. I'm recording in a silly little hat today.
Well, you didn't tell me about the hat.
You're not wearing your silly little hat?
I'm not wearing a hat. I feel totally unprepared right now. I feel very caught off guard. What kind of hat was I supposed to wear? Like a big one, a small one?
Just your silly little recording hat. I don't know why I even have to verbalize this. You don't.
Wait, when did you
do silly recording hat?
When did you decide? When did we decide on getting silly recording hats?
I didn't know this is a thing that I had to say out loud.
Oh my god. Okay. Sorry. Hold on, folks. I've got to go. Scrounge up a recording hat real quick.
I can't believe this.
All right.
I can't believe this.
Okay. Oh,
it's
no, all right. No, I'm good. I got. I'm wearing a pair of cat ears now.
That doesn't count as a hat. Oh my god. I guess that's what makes it silly, is it's not actually a hat.
Yeah, no, it goes on your head, but it's not a hat.
Being silly is open to interpretation for everyone. That is true. Can't fault you for that. It does make me worried because, obviously the vibe of this podcast is, recording in a silly hat. And it's when you don't pick up on that, it kind of, leaves me holding the bag.
I'm sorry. We never look at each other, face to face for obvious and good reasons. I want to add.
I can't do the show. I can't do the show making eye contact with you. That would ruin our total dynamic. It would destroy it immediately.
All respect between us would just be out the door.
It would be gone. I don't really want to talk about anime face to face with anybody. I think tele-animating is the only way to go.
Yeah, no, that's why we chose the superior podcast format, right? It's just us. This is basically a direct link to our listeners' minds of us injecting our better ideas.
Before our various platforms, before podcasts, before YouTube, before voiceover IP services at all, if I was talking about anime, it would be an actual call where you put the 7 digits into your phone and you would connect with somebody. And then you could talk over that. And that's how I would talk about anime. I would do it one by one, person by person. It was really inefficient.
You would call each person that you knew individually to talk about the anime that you maybe were all watching together. How did you even coordinate that?
Oh, there was no coordination back then. See, that's kind of the thing. I think that's what prepared me to do the podcast, right? Because I'm assuming I in order to do the show, I basically have to assume the audience hasn't watched or read anything we're talking about. That's the basic assumption I'm working from. And back in the calling on the phone days, that was true at all the time. I'd call up somebody and be like, yo, have you seen Kemonozume yet? This shit is insane. It's fucking absolutely batshit insane. I love it. And they'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't want to know. And, the conversation would pretty much reach a dead end at that point. And I'd move on to the next person.
Yeah, no, it was pretty much like that. I remember. And I want to make it clear to people listening out here, we're not doing a bit. We used to live in a time where sometimes people you didn't even know would just randomly call you up on a weeknight to talk to you about their anime opinions, and you would have to sit there and listen to them. It was mandated. You couldn't hang up.
It's crazy because that was there were basically 2 ways to get anime opinions, right? One of them was just directly talking to someone, which is crazy. Obviously, that's crazy.
Yeah, and you would never do that.
The other one was you had to get a magazine from a store.
Yeah, see, I formed most of my early anime opinions by looking at crusty editions of New Type magazine that people left in the woods behind my house.
Disgusting. I can't believe you touched that with your bare hands.
See, it was the only other way back then, We didn't have access to the vast ocean of knowledge that is the internet that we have today,
It's true.
It was like working with stones and fire.
Now you can go on and you just rant. You can be surprised by people's anime opinions. You just online minding your own business. And then there's anime opinions.
Not even that they have a good or a bad opinion, just that someone has an opinion about that specific anime. You're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
somebody feels something about that. That's unexpected.
Sometimes it's, useful, sometimes not. I went on the line the other day. Onto the line, I have I pay to win line stickers installed.
Yep.
So it's my preferred platform. And somebody posted this Katsuhiro Otomo thing, I guess, going around, where he gives this interview where he's like, real manga artists don't listen to their editors. He was doing an interview for part of the new Tezuka documentary.
Oh, I want to see that. That sounds cool.
And he is nuking he is nuking new manga artists so hard. He was talking about how, like, basically, kind of the thing that we've constantly been talking about, suspecting is true. He basically comes out and says it. In his opinion, he's like, editorial just writes manga stories now, and then the new artists just draw it. Like, they don't actually, like, work on their own shit.
Yeah.
And which is something that we have complained about a bunch of times.
Well, it's obvious to varying degrees in a lot of stuff. You obviously have your legacy artists with established IPs that are still in the game somehow. I don't think editorial is telling Oda, what to do. But he may be the sole remaining relic of that type of, like, power that a manga artist can accrue in the industry.
I think in Oda's generation, and these are just like some loose stories that I've read, so not generally applicable, but stuff like him, or I know on Dragon Ball, right, like editorial, they worked in collaboration, like with Toriyama, a lot more closely. It wasn't necessarily Toriyama's editor coming in and saying, like, this is what this week's Dragon Ball is going to be.
Right.
It was more like they talked about it a lot together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Oda's in a similar situation, except Oda, like, cranks it out so fast, I'm not sure editorial would even have the opportunity to come in and put their opinions in.
Yeah, he's got that specific unique ability, like him and people like Stephen King, can just crank. It doesn't, like, they don't have that limiter in them that stops them from putting out a subpar chapter or story. They just got to get it out of them, And yeah. I respect the hustle.
Sure. And, reading these new chapters of Berserk, right? I know Koji Mori wasn't Miura's editor, but, he was somebody that they would sit down together and, like, beat out the stories, right? I think he was maybe officially a part of the team at some point, but he was his own manga artist. I know that.
Yeah. And I think that is a much more, like, direct collaborator role than anything. It's like, like the way a good producer would sit down with a director and try and, like, hash out a production with stuff like that. Again, same thing. I don't think that he's, like, an editorial dude that was making decisions for Miura, obviously.
No, he was not making any decisions for Miura. He was actually working on his own thing. I don't know if you've ever read Holy Land. I read it a little while ago.
No, I haven't.
Quite a while ago, actually. And I kind of gave up on it because it really stalls out. It's a story about a weakling who learns how to fight, and he gets real deep into, like, the underground fighting scene. And everybody, tries to take advantage of him because he's, like, a little scrawny, like, 5'4" dude.
Mm-hmm.
But he basically has, like, the Sharingan. He can, like, instantly learn fighting techniques just by watching somebody do it.
He's got the Matrix, just download the fighting style power.
Yeah, it's really wild. And he's also kind of a crybaby. It's like one of those kinds of things. But, like, the story eventually just becomes somebody going, like, hey, man, like, you didn't used to be, like, a weird, violent dude. And, like, now that's all you care about is, like, hurting people. What's up with that? And the manga was like,
didn't have an answer for that question.
What about capoeira?
Capoeira.
Okay. Yeah, like, all right, man. And then it goes on for another 400 chapters that I could not bring myself to read. But yeah, I think it's great that I can go online and see somebody at Katsuhiro Otomo's level going like, you are all fucking scrubs. You all fucking suck.
Okay.
You idiots. You don't make art.
As much as I want to back him up, because I think just saying that in an interview is very funny.
It is funny.
It is very funny.
I don't know if it's true or not, but it's funny.
It feels kind of like that is, I don't know. It feels like he's attacking the guy at the bottom, which is the manga artist, right? The guy who is desperately trying to break into an established controlled industry, instead of looking at the fact that, like, maybe the editorial departments for these publishing companies are the problem. Maybe the giant corporations that control the editorial departments, maybe that's more the issue here. Because once you get into that like process of having top-down decisions, they're just going to make manga to please the most amount of horny people, which is what anime is now, pretty much.
Well, when it comes to comics, and this is just true, no shade on anyone, but this is just true. You have way more good illustrators than you do good storytellers. That's just straight up true. Sometimes you just gotta like put your guys to work,
Well, everybody has their specialized skills. It's you can't expect everybody to be a writer and an artist. They have to put all of their points in one pool, right?
It reminds me, I'm just thinking about it a lot because I started reading a bunch of new manga. Again, I got a new crop. One of them was, do you know Taniguchi Jiro? Jiro Taniguchi?
No.
Whatever.
Maybe. What have they worked on?
He did a bunch of stuff like... I told you about that manga exhibit I went to, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They had his original drawings from The Walking Man there, which was like a very famous one. Sort of like a semi-autobiographical kind of like melancholy man goes back to his hometown and realizes like, he's aged. He's like an old man now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The most generic midlife crisis story template.
But it's like the one, like literally went into, like Museum of Modern Art shit. He did Tokyo Killers, which was a big one. Talk about hard boiled. Like that's a classic like detective hard boiled story it got really big. He did he illustrated a Möbius novel or script, I guess, called Ikado, about a boy who can fly. And I was reading that, and it starts with Möbius like just ranting about like, yeah, narratives are pretty much done. Everybody's said everything that can be said. You're all fucked forever. Like, no more original stories after this one. Sorry, guys, I'm turning the lights out after me. And it's like, damn, dude, what the fuck, man? Chill out. He is so doom and gloom. He also says, like, the best stories were being told by cavemen. So, also, like, love for Mobius, but also like, dude, come on, man. Come on.
Okay, man. Well, okay, actually, I'm sorry. I was about to ascribe a whole bunch of feelings that I have that are actually towards Jodorowsky, towards Mobius.
That's a different guy.
I know
different guy.
I know it's a different guy.
It's a different guy. They have different feelings about stuff. It's a different thing. I thought that was very funny. This guy going in like, yeah, I'm turning the lights out after me, basically. Like, good luck, motherfuckers. This is the last original story. Now you're all just gonna repeat the shit I already did, basically.
I mean,
okay.
It's a bit like, come on, dude. You are not original in that thought itself, right? Many people have felt that way before.
Okay, he did. You did the in-cal, and now you're out forever. You're like, I'm the last person to ever tell an original story. It's like, okay, calm down, calm down, my dude. I think that's very funny though.
Well, it is funny because this is going back to those feelings that I was about to ascribe to Jodorowsky. A lot of the ideas that were in the in-cal, he just ripped off from the script for the failed, like the ditch script for Jodorowsky's Dune. Lots and lots of recycled imagery from the original, like concept art that he did for that Dune movie.
He just a mind warping drug.
Yeah,
that takes you to like different places. Yeah.
So he was already ripping off himself at that point. So I just think it's pretty funny to be like, all right, well, I guess that's it. Bye.
Bye. Great dude. We love the man though. But Mobius, you're cool. I believe his name is Jean Guido, not to like dead name him or whatever. But we love you, Mobius. We love you. You know why I was thinking about that though? That reminded me because we were talking about Chainsmoker Cat, and I did go ahead and watch the opener, and then we were talking about like it's just all movie references.
Yeah, so I've watched the first couple episodes of the Chainsmoker Cat anime now.
Chainsmoker
Cat Man.
Chainsmoker.
Yes,
man.
That's where I was going. They do appear to be just doing their own version of the Chainsaw Man OP with all the movie references, except like you were mentioning before we started recording, that makes sense for Chainsaw Man to do that if you know the context of like Fujimoto's other work and how like referential he is to cinema in general already. Like that was
when you get to that point in Fire Punch where a character just comes in and is like, the whole point of living is to watch movies, and the whole point of your life is I'm going to make a movie out of it. You're like, okay, all right, I'm nodding my head along with you, Fujimoto. All right, man. Okay, I think I understand where you're coming from.
No one ever accused him of being a very subtle writer, okay? Like I said, you can either do art or writing. But, yeah, when it comes to Chainsmoker Cat, I'm not sure what the connection is here for doing the opener like this, because it's actually even more so than the Chainsaw Man opening animation, which was like broken up by segments of like, original animation just for the opener. The Chainsmoker Cat one is just a string of all movie references with nothing like original in between. Which is interesting.
Not true. No, there are a couple shots from the first episode, so there is some original stuff, but it's stuff that you immediately see because it's in the first episode.
Yeah, but a much higher percentage of the overall runtime of the OP is just like direct movie references. Yeah. And you asked like why were they doing this? And I have no background with the Twitter comic that Yanni Neko is based off of, is adapting. You've read that. I haven't. So I don't know if that is something that comes up like in, that version of it or in the author's comments in their tweets. But my theory is that I think animators just like rotoscoping their characters onto their favorite movie bits. I think they just like doing that.
Yeah, they like doing movement homages. I get it. I can see why it's fun. I'm not saying that's like a problem for me. In fact, out of that first episode, it's probably my favorite part. It's just baffling. It's just baffling that almost the entire thing is taken up by just references to movies. Now, the comic maybe was also filled with references to movies that I just wasn't picking up because I wasn't even thinking about that. But it's not exactly jumping to mind. The comic is mostly about a woman an adult woman whose life is extraordinarily disgusting.
Yeah.
Pretty much, that was pretty much it.
And so, I don't know. So what do you think is like the point of Chainsmoker Cat, the comic? Because I have some things I want to say about the anime so far, but what is it doing there? It feels like it's trying to comment on something, but maybe that's just me imposing meaning where there is none. Maybe the author just likes drawing like this adult woman with an extremely gross life.
I think we know that he does, or she does, or they do. I actually don't know anything about the author. I've just read the comic. None of their commentary on it. And I haven't read that much. Maybe if you see the entire picture, something becomes more clear. But I've read, I don't know, probably the first, maybe volume, maybe the first volume.
Okay.
And I think there's quite a few.
So basically more or less what's going to get adapted into the anime so far. Although I have no idea if this is like one of those things where it is an adaptation like that. It feels like the comic was probably a bunch of like gag panels, and now the anime is doing those, but also inserting, new stuff to try and connect it into some kind of narrative, right?
Yeah, depends on how ambitious they are, because the comic is essentially a series of loosely connected vignettes. It's a lot of our titular Chainsmoker Cat being gross, and then as the author decides they want to expand the bit, they'll introduce a new character who is gross in a different way, until we get introduced to Chainsmoker Cat's sister, who is not gross. She's normal.
Yes.
And in fact introduces a lot of pathos into the story, because she's like afraid that her disgusting idiot sister is gonna kill herself at any moment.
Okay, so I mean, all
weird.
of that is pretty much carried over into what I've seen in the anime so far. So like the first two episodes, are setting up. The first one is setting up her living situation, the apartment, like her weird landlord who has some pretty funny visual gags, but is also like incredibly fucked up, I don't know. The landlord in particular kind of is the first thing that is extremely off-putting, because it is made explicitly clear that he's like sexually attracted to Chainsmoker Cat, and the fact that she's such a disgusting fail person who like doesn't even bother to get dressed half the time, like really plays into that ongoing gag. So like,
I will say that ongoing gag is not really ongoing in volume 1.
Okay.
The episode 1 has that jerk off gag,
that's what I'm talking about.
The opener starts, but that is it. That is the only time we ever get.
Okay, they've inserted a couple other ones in there, like there's a bit where she's playing soccer with the local kids, and she starts winning because she's not wearing a bra under her shirt, and it's distracting all of the children that she's playing with.
Well, yeah, okay, yes, that is in the comic as well.
Okay, so
but
that's in
not
there.
The landlord.
No, it's not the landlord. Although maybe they just did this different for the anime, but I think that he was there. I think they were playing like outside her apartment building. Maybe it was a different old man that got strangely attracted to this cat person.
I don't know. I literally only watched through the opener because I really wanted to see the opener.
All right, so it seems like it's pretty much doing the same thing. The one thing that I wanted to ask about, like in specific, was they seem to be inserting some form of lore.
Lore?
Yes, lore.
Oh, you mean because the cats, like, they eat bugs and stuff and they find it embarrassing?
No, because there's several, like, big spanning, like, aerial shots of the town that they live in, and always in the background, they're shown this, like, giant sci-fi tower with cat ears on it just on the other side of the hill.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? that people need to be paying attention to? Does that come up in the comics from what you saw?
Not really, no.
Okay.
The only stuff that even remotely like that is that occasionally the cat girls like do cat stuff, and sometimes people find it cute and sometimes people find it gross.
Well, cats are gross.
There's a particular gag where one of the cat girls is a streamer, right?
Uh-huh.
And she pretends to get freaked out because there's like a mosquito or something flying around her room. Mm-hmm. And she's goes to pause the stream, but she forgets to pause it. And instead of like swatting it away, she eats it.
Gross.
And everyone in her stream is disgusted by this. And then it comes back later because the sister, who is desperate to be a normal person, her friends start asking her if she likes eating bugs, and she's like, I hate it becomes very fraught. Honestly, it becomes very fraught as like a kind of like an ethnicity metaphor, because then it becomes a thing where she wants to portray herself as one of the good ones to her friends. And
Yes.
suddenly we are scratching away the surface of something that could be even darker than it is, which is very odd.
Okay, so actually, this brings up a topic that I've thought about before that I've kind of wanted to talk about. Anime has a weird relationship with portraying minority peoples as like literal beast men. Have you noticed this?
New. This is, I mean, we have a large body of media work, academic work on this for decades and decades.
Yes.
The abstraction of race behind, blue aliens or beast men or orcs. You know, this is a deep field of like race relations studies in academia, right?
Yeah, and obviously it's a big, broad topic that spans not just anime, but like across all media. But I'm trying to like pinpoint what is anime's specific thing with this, because it's popping up more and more, I've noticed, at least in my field of vision. Because, a few years ago, we had Red Cat Ramen, which I talked about on the show.
Disgusting for a different reason.
Yeah, cats should not be making... Well, again, they make it very clear that all the cats undergo intense training to learn how to not shed. That's a thing.
It's so weird. Why bother?
But also that one, at least in the manga, because the anime didn't get very far, it makes it pretty explicit that the cats are a stand-in for... non-Japanese people of some kind.
Sure.
They have multiple arcs talking about how like hard it is for cats, like emancipated cats, to get jobs. They have to learn Japanese, and they have to take like a bunch of like citizenship tests, the whole thing. And more recently, I think last 2 seasons ago, you had that that shoujo romance about the girl who falls in love with the blue wolf guy. Remember that one? That one
there's a few of those.
Yeah, there's several of those now. That one, the beast people were explicitly like inside. They had to live inside a literal ghetto, like a walled part of apartheid Japan.
Like the Crow people.
Yeah, and so when Yanni Neko is doing it, and at least in the anime, they are shown as cat people are like second-class citizens, more or less. They're only shown doing like menial labor jobs. In the first and second episode, Yanni Neko is working at some kind of like civic cleanup kind of thing, and all of the other workers.
I honestly, when I first saw that, I assumed it was because she was like, she had a misdemeanor and she was doing like the work off your ticket by like cleaning up the side of the road thing.
Yeah, you would think that. I mean, that is a good assumption with the character, but I think that it's like
that was just her job.
Well, the guy, her manager in that scene, has a line where he specifically calls out that all of you people here are part of the like animal person work placement program, basically. So it's like it's a government thing that she's being put in this position. Same in the second episode where she gets fired from like her sweatshop manufacturing job, making license plates or whatever, because
another convict job.
Yeah, where she takes too many smoking breaks, and so they fire her. You know.
Yeah.
Same thing. It seems to be implied that the apartment that she lives in is like subsidized housing meant specifically for cat girls, because all of the other tenants are like various flavors of a horrible, disgusting cat people. So when Yanni Neko does that thing, and then also portrays all of the like cat people characters as horrible, like fuck up drains on society, except for the one sister character, like that, I'm wondering if this is just something they have in like a wider commentary that they haven't gotten to express yet, or if they're trying to say something else with that characterization. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just one of those things that comes up. We've talked about this about a bunch of different things where it's like you intentionally or otherwise introduce a like racialized component into, you know, a lighthearted adventure story or a comedy, right? A gag manga or whatever. And you have now created this implication that you either intentionally or unintentionally are engaging with. And a lot of people are like, it's not that deep, bro. This is where the it's not that deep, bro comes from. It's exactly this phenomenon. And, you know, the counter is obviously like, no, actually, it is that deep. It's right there. It's sitting right fucking there.
It's
like,
right in front of you.
Yeah. You're right. It's not that deep because it's literally on the surface. It is like it's like it's like the fucking lily on the pond, right?
There is no subtext.
Right,
it is just text.
It's just right there. And you are asking me not to like reel back my interpretive urge, which frankly is impossible for me, but I get it. You are asking me to like ignore what is literally sitting right there on the page. And it's like, I can't. I'm sorry. I cannot do that. Whether the artists want to like engage with that or not, that's fine, whatever. But it is still right there. And I think in Yanni Neko's case, in Chainsmoker Cat's case, I don't think what is the author's name? I don't even know. I'm gonna look it up.
I think they just go by their online handle. I don't think that they have they've publicly revealed themselves. Maybe I'm wrong.
Chainsmoker Cat, written by Nyan Nyan Factory.
Yep.
Okay. Nyan Nyan Factory Sensei. I don't think they are a person who is super interested in exploring this, but I also don't think, I get the feeling, though I really do again need to like read more of the manga to get a sense of it. I also don't get the feeling that they're unaware of it, you know?
Yeah.
I think these are intentional choices, but they are not intentional in the way that they want to tell us like a story about them. They are using them as set dressing.
Yes, and you know, honestly, when you look at it through that lens, I feel like the opening movie references make a lot more sense. Actually, you know,
you think so?
Yeah, I think that for what they're doing, I think that they're actually a pretty good way of setting the tone for what the show is going to be. You know. It's more or less a statement of, all right, look at all of these scenes from all of these movies that, you may or may not be familiar with, but probably are. You know, there's a lot of popular ones in here. We got Chinatown. We got
Chinatown.
We got Pierrot Le Fou. We got Pulp Fiction. We got Resident Evil Extinction. We got Breakfast Club.
Love that one.
We got
Breakfast
Joker
Club's in there.
We got Fallen Angels.
Joker. Are you sure Joker's in there?
Joker's in there, baby. The Joker, baby.
Man.
We got Blade Runner. Sure. We got Lord of the Rings.
Trainspotting is in there. You said Stand By Me is in there earlier.
Stand By
Kids
Me
is in there.
Spider-Man 3's in there.
Spider-Man is in there for some reason.
Dumb and Dumber's in there. Fight Club, Usual Suspects. They're all in there. Every single one.
The Usual Suspects one is actually the one that popped out of me the most because that really, a lot of these are like kind of a little bit more deep cuts, but they chose the single most iconic.
I know.
3 seconds from that movie.
Kevin Spacey walking away while lighting the cigarette. Like you can't miss it. You know, it's very, very visually like striking. You can't help but think of it if you've seen The Usual Suspects.
Mm-hmm. Okay, to clean this one up, is it as good as the Chainsaw Man one?
I would say it's at least as good. Again, this goes back to what I was saying, that, you know, the Chainsaw Man one makes sense in context with Chainsaw Man. This one is visually just a string of like stuff the animators kind of wanted to draw over and homage, but it does a really good job of setting the tone for Chainsmoker Cat, where I think that the tone was already implied with Chainsaw Man. So this one did more work, so I think it actually is better than. I'm going to say that it comes out on top.
I don't remember what the song's like, so let me quickly go over the song. Nan Monet. Is it as good as Kickback? Let's see.
Oh, absolutely not. No. It's not as good as Kickback. Kickback is awesome.
Not good as Kickback. Yeah, it's pretty, honestly, kind of bland. I don't know. It's like a regular Japanese pop song. A lot of crunchy guitar stuff, you know.
It's what's funny.
Smooth down some pop punk.
Kickback originally started as it was pitched as an idol pop song for Morning Musume before it got picked up for the Chainsaw Man opening and got a metal cover.
Yeah, this is how this shit always plays out. You know, these songs get shopped around. I have Kickback on vinyl now. I gotta say, I've got a couple different versions of it.
I'm pretty jealous of that. That's a good get.
I got the Reze movie soundtrack, which came with 3 songs and then 3 remixes on the B-side. But one of them is a Hudson Mohawk remix of Kickback, and I was like, yeah, I will spend money to have that. Yes, abso-fucking-lutely, for sure. Hudmo, that is my dude. That is my fucking dude. And Anime's dude, too, because when they did the big fucking Cyberpunk Trigger thing, the launch, he DJ'd the launch party in a I think in Tokyo. Which was like, okay, yeah, man, hell yeah.
Man, we should have gone to that.
So dope. That would have been so dope. You know what? Playing off that, I think since we are absolutely hating on so many shows this season, I really quickly just want to we should pick 3 of these shows we're never going to watch and listen to the opener really quick.
Okay.
Just give it a rating.
All right. Let's see.
I think
here.
this would be fun.
Here, let's add a layer here. I want the 3 shows, I want to pick them for each other. We're gonna pick each other's choices, all right?
Well, I figured we would listen to them together. How about you pick one, I pick one, you pick one, I pick one.
All right, we can do that. All right. I think that neither of us are probably ever going to watch the opener for, or the episode of Love Unseen Beneath the Clear Night Sky. You've never even heard of it.
Probably not. I have not even heard of that one. Love Unseen. Is this just like one of these bland... Let me see. Let me read the description here. On an April night in Tokyo, as the cherry blossoms are in bloom, blind university student Koharu Fuyutsuki spends time with the man she loves, Kakeru Sorano. In the 3 years since they started dating, he's shown just how much he cares about her. Aww. And even though Koharu can't see him, she can tell what a wonderful person he is. After all, Kakeru is the man who gave her a future. But just because they were gifted a miracle once, there's nothing to say it will continue forever. Pain and joy, dash, and all the vibrant hues in between, dash, color their lives like fireworks in the sky. Oh, that's a little insensitive. She can't see fireworks. That's weird. That's a weird.
Oh, actually, you know what? All right, no, I'll use it for my second one. Let's watch this one. Let's see what this gets.
Okay, Love Unseen beneath the clear lit sky. The song is Hito Ha Hira by Motohiro Hata. Can that be true? Is that true? Seems like a little on the nose, don't you think?
A little bit.
Okay. I'm playing it. We got a solo piano and a twangy solo acoustic guitar.
Yep.
Single human voice.
You know, visuals, mostly still images of cityscapes, plant life. Yep. Not a lot of people, buildings.
We got the synth build up, leads into the heavily reverbed slow drum beat. Still not picking up. It's pretty boring. It sounds like the worst Pillows song so far.
General J-rock ballad kind of song.
It's even doing some of the Pillows like chord progression stuff. Okay, I hit the bridge and it sucks. Okay, all right. That's not good. That's bad. Unfortunately, I'm
going to give this a 0 out of 10.
We should do 1 to 3. I think that is a 1 to me.
That's a 1.
That is a 1.
That's definitely a 1. Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, my turn. Let's do. What's a bad show that I think would have a good OP that neither of us are going to watch for sure?
Well,
I'm probably going to watch World is Dancing at some point.
I mean, are we looking at the entire spread or just originals? Because I guarantee neither.
Originals.
Okay, just originals. All right.
Okay, I'm going to go with Maho Shoujo Lyrical Nanaha Exceeds Gunblaze Vengeance. This has got to have a good opener, right?
I like the title so far.
Yeah, right. You can't have a show like that with a bad opener. Okay, the song is called Crimson Bullet.
Okay.
By Nana Mizuki.
All right, let's see.
I'm playing it.
Do it. Starting strong with a single lyrical voice.
Very energetic. Classic 6-chord progression.
Okay. Clean piano into a heavy metal riff. I like that. All right, we have a character doing a suit-up sequence. We've got cute animal girl.
It sounds like. Cute. Oh shit! This sounds like the fucking Sonic Adventure 2 sound.
Oh yeah, very very Sonic coded.
Oh my god! Even the specific suspended chord for the yeah. This is what could this show possibly be? They're doing super drugs.
It seems to be about
key change.
anime girls. Magical girls of some kind, and yeah, there's an evil group of them who appear to do drugs.
Drug addicts must be exterminated.
Oh, now they're fighting dragons with guns.
Yeah, take us home.
I like when they work the title of the anime into the lyrics of the song.
Gunblaze. Okay, yeah. I like that a lot better, but it's still generic as hell, so I'm giving that one a 2. Maho Shoujo Lyrical Nanaha Exceeds Gunblaze Vengeance. Crimson Bullet, you're right down the middle.
Okay, let's see here. What's going to be a good one for this? So I'm torn between Tomb Raider King, which is this season's solo leveling knockoff.
Yep.
Or maybe, let's see. What about My Stepmother and Stepsisters Aren't Wicked?
That's So yeah. Okay.
All right, hit and play.
The song. Wait, hold on. The song is called "Amayadori no Shoke" by Leah.
Yes.
I can tell you, I already like the composition.
Yeah, I was
more
just thinking
than the other ones.
Whatever that guitar is doing in the background is crazy. I like that.
It's doing chunks.
Yeah.
Had a very vibrant piano, just hitting arpeggios like crazy.
What time would you say what time
Bring it
signature
down.
is this?
This time signature, it's just 4/4.
This is 4/4. You know, we've got a slew of characters on screen who I assume
There's like some evil
Yeah.
European looking women and children.
This appears to be a boarding school story of some kind.
Well, that says my stepmother and stepsisters. This stepmother must have a lot of adoptive children, maybe.
Well, you know, they're wearing uniforms.
Maybe this woman has married quite a few times.
Now, I did notice that the stepmother was drawn in a very, how to put it, masculine way.
Well, she looks sinister for sure.
Yeah. Well, she had a very square jaw.
It almost started playing "Take Me to Your House." I would have had to stop the podcast.
All right, let's
Christ.
round it out here.
Okay, let's do. Here's the show that I'm absolutely not interested at all in watching, but might have an interesting theme song based on the premise. Let's do Bang Dream Yume Infinite Mita. This is like an actual, right, like band, like idol group. So you'd assume like they'd go all out, right?
You would hope. Let's find out. All right. This song
Cool that they
is...
didn't bother translating it. Oh, here we go. I got it. Kore wa Bokutachi no Seizon no Arasuji by Mugendai Mu Type.
I love them.
Great. Cool. All right, I'm hitting play.
Actually, I'm already like... Whatever that intro was with the pink and blue and the alien, that was awesome. I like that. Wait a minute. Is this a VTuber anime?
Maybe. I don't know. You know, the problem with this composition is that it has a lot of like individual elements I do like.
Well, it sounds...
Specifically a lot more of electronic stuff that I appreciate it, but the voice is killing me.
Well,
the
it's a
baby
Hatsune
idol
Miku
voice I can't... Yeah, I cannot deal with, you know? Wow. Now that voice is unique. I didn't expect that. The blonde-haired girl has a very unique voice. I'll give it that. They brought me back around. They have a fucking it's an idol band with a DJ. It's like Idol Linkin Park.
2 DJs. Oh, wait, no.
That's awesome.
Excuse me, one of them is a keyboard player. Never mind.
Yeah.
They're a nerd.
Why is one dressed as a nun angel?
I don't know. Why are they abducting people from the streets now?
Why are they abducting people? That doesn't seem good.
Okay, I think that this is an anime about aliens who come to Earth and form a VTuber band.
I didn't read the description for this one, so we don't really know.
And we never will. We're moving on.
Yeah. Would never think about that again. The song is not that great. Like, that is not a, like, instantly add to my playlist song.
No.
I would give that one as well, like, a 2.
Yeah, two seems appropriate for me as well. You know, are there anything, before we move on completely, are there anything that could possibly be a 3 on here? Anything at all?
We would have to go through them, right?
Yeah.
Not that we've heard so far.
Disappointing.
I will say, I went and saw... Unfortunately, haven't ripped through all my anime for the season yet, but I did go and see Evil Dead Burn. And as soon as I heard the end theme, I was like, yeah, downloading this shit. This fucking rocks. Hell yeah.
You know, I did
that hasn't happened in a while.
The last time that I did that was at the end of The Ring versus The Grudge, when they play that Japan X song.
Yeah.
That, like, it immediately cuts from the end of the movie straight into this super heavy, like, Japan X scream song, and I'm like, oh, I need to get that right now. That was the dopest drop.
It ends like the Matrix, where they go straight into Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah. Yes.
It smash cuts to credits, and then Rage starts playing.
Exactly.
Which is the dopest needle drop that has ever happened in any movie.
Yes. No. It very much recreates that that
fucking
cut.
bomb track.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool. That's so cool. I love that shit. Hard to pull off because you do actually need like a song that immediately like bangs. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you get the timing right and it like drops and it is the right song, but like the intro to the song doesn't hit as hard. Whereas like bomb track is like, you fucking 1 second into bomb track, you're like, yeah, I'm standing up.
Yeah, it would be like if Freddy vs. Jason ended with a cut straight into the ooh ah 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 from Down with the Sickness.
That fucking... Man, that is the most millennial coded shit. And that like that song is so fucking stupid, but like immediately goes straight into my cortex, my neural cortex.
Oh, dude,
activating neurons left and right.
You would have been in heaven because when I was in Japan earlier this year, our friend Jeff brought me to this place in Shinjuku called Metal Bar Gods. It's Metal Bar Gods Godz. And we went in there, and two things. You're allowed to smoke inside, and they only play like early 2000s nu metal. So it was just a like playlist hit after hit of all of like
Papa Roach, Alien Ant Farm.
Yep. Both of those were there. Disturbed was there. Korn was there. Static X was there.
Cool. That's really wild.
It was very surreal to like, you know, walk into that atmosphere. There's like metal posters and like bottles all over the place. People are smoking, but then also like 3/4 of the clientele are very obviously like business dudes who just got off work because they're still in their suit and tie and like sitting around drinking beers, listening to like nu metal. It felt affirming to myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What is I was gonna I've been watching a bunch of Donnie Yen movies, and I watched Painted Skin the other night, and that had the exact opposite thing, where the music was so bad and baffling I almost had to stop watching. It was like crazy. It was really fucking me up.
Wait, what were they doing?
It was just it's a traditional like wuxia kind of like horror romance story, right? About a demon that wears the skin of a beautiful woman and accidentally falls in love with a man, a handsome married like kick-ass soldier general man.
Hate it when that happens.
And it's like very melodramatic and tragic, and it's got a bunch of great fight scenes and stuff. But the music was all like early 90s like quirky comedy music. It was like beep beep ba-dee beep ba-dee ba-dee beep, and it's like, what the fuck, what is happening? I could not deal with it. It was so crazy.
Listen, they spent really the money elsewhere. They had to get the director's nephew to come in with his Casio and just improvise some stuff, okay? You know, that's how filmmaking is, all right? You have to make compromises.
I mean, I guess it was like a really big budget, like, you know, Chinese, like full cast production, wuxia production, and then just the weirdest, like inconsistent tangential music. I really fucked me up.
I'm trying to imagine Lord of the Rings, but with like a weird 90s kind of like incidental music, like background track.
Yeah, instead of the most iconic score.
Yes.
In the late like the late 20th century.
Yes, exactly. Instead of that, you know, maybe they use like a stock sound effect CD that they picked up at a Beverly Hills garage sale or something. You hear the terracotta breaking noise in the background.
What was the last anime song that you did download?
Okay. The last anime song that I did,
not Kickback.
That's not Kickback, or the song from the Reze movie.
Or the song from the Reze movie, which is also good.
All right. Then I can tell you exactly what it is. Give me 1 second.
Oh, shit.
How to scroll.
It's JoJo, isn't it? It's JoJo. It's the newest JoJo theme.
No, it's not. It's Otonoke from Dan to Dan. It was the Dan to Dan theme. That was the last one.
Man, that Golden Wind one just kills me every fucking time.
Okay, do you want to know what the one that I downloaded before the Dan to Dan theme is?
Was it the Okishinoko theme? The Yoasobi one?
No, it's I Really Want to Stay at Your House.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I have Fight Song by Eve, but now I can't remember what anime it's from. What anime did they use that in? Was that from Chainsaw Man? I can't remember now.
Let's see. Yeah, it was from Chainsaw Man.
I love that song. That song is fucking great. I have like that. I have Lost in Paradise from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yep.
I actually have a bunch of Eve songs. I have an old track from Ghost in the Shell Sack.
Mm-hmm.
And that Oshinoko theme, which is really good. I really like that Yoasobi song.
It's good. Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff from Maximum the Hormone that I downloaded after Chainsaw Man. And
don't like that name.
You know, the name's not great, but I really enjoy their style of blending like pop, like J-pop rock and like nu metal, like thrash music. They did one of the ending themes for the first season of Chainsaw Man. What else? I've got the theme song from Odd Taxi on here, titled Odd Taxi by Skirt and Punpee.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You know, honestly, every season has like at least one banger OP song. I'm surprised that, well, we're in a Dan to Dan off season right now. So we're not really getting anything for Creepy Nuts, which seemed to have been like they were the guys for a while to go to for like a banger OP song.
It's a good gig if you can get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yoasobi just did an Overwatch collab, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Is Overwatch
like
still a
10
thing?
years too late.
I know.
Yeah. Big thing. Okay, before we like completely wind down, was there any anime that you watched? Because I could at least talk about like a manga I read recently that's kind of on theme for this show.
Yeah, okay. Well, I did watch the first couple episodes of Dara-San of Reiwa. We talked about that a little bit during the preview episode. And
sure. Has it raised any more questions for you?
It's raised so many more questions for me.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
You know, I think my big takeaway, and I expressed this in our group chat a few days ago, I was unprepared for, like you mentioned that it was horny. I was unprepared for how, like, uncomfortably horny it is in aspects of it. You know,
it gets sweaty sometimes.
It gets weird. Yeah, I'm not a fan of when you describe the two characters, the two sibling, like, main characters, you know, I was envisioning like probably high schoolers, and I know that's still not great, but it's a different level of weird when they're actually like grade schoolers. That made it very uncomfortable for them to be hanging around the giant, like fully nude snake woman, and then on top of that, like there's a bunch of gags about the kids like being horny. Which I, found very off-putting. I'm going to be honest. You know, I like the setup. I like the general idea of this old world god who's been kind of like semi-trapped up in the mountains for all these years, watching society from as close as they could get, and then suddenly they are integrated into it and kind of have this like, fish out of water experience. I think that is a fun concept with giant monster person. It's one of the things that I like most about Yomi no Sugai, right? Is that you have like the weird country, like warrior dude who comes down from the mountain and suddenly he's in modern day Tokyo. And he's like, what do you mean I can't just kill people if I want to? Like, what?
Fish out of water.
Yeah. I'm not a fan.
Culture clash.
I'm not a fan of like when the giant snake lady asks for clothes, they give her like lingerie and sexy cosplay outfits, especially when that gag is a follow-up to her tragic backstory scene about how like she was a regular person who got fucking like her limbs chopped off and cursed to be a snake lady.
She was a little more than a regular person. I mean, she was like a magical, like Shinto priest.
Yeah, she was a priestess
who fought evil creatures.
Yeah, and then was betrayed by her evil twin sister.
Her beautiful evil twin sister.
Yeah. You know, I think what I like most about Dara-San of Reiwa is the general attitude that Dara-San has is very much in this, like, yeah, you know, I was pretty pissed off for a long time, but I've kind of chilled out now. Like, I haven't forgiven my evil bitch of a sister. I still hate that bitch. But also, it takes a lot of energy to, like, keep hating a person, you know? Which I think is a very fun attitude for the creature that is introduced as a vengeful spirit to have, you know? It kind of has this theme of letting go of the things that bring you down, you know?
Yeah, it's all about this, and she talks about like it's metaphorized, but it's also like literal in her physical being as she lets go of the like vengeful spirit. She like morphs back into something resembling a human. She talks a lot about how she is becoming different over the years, how she is like physically and mentally transforming as she lets go of like the murderous thing inside of her.
Yeah, that's what I liked most about that first episode was her explaining that the person she was actually died when all those people killed her. And what was left over merged with the giant evil snake god that she was there to banish, right? And that entity is kind of a mix of both of them and is its own unique thing that isn't either. And she kind of came to accept that about herself, and through that is letting go of all of this like malice that she's held on to. Which I think is cool. I think that's a cool theme.
It is cool.
I think that, again, you get distracted by the fact that, she's nude for a lot of the first episode, and the animators made the choice to draw her with, like, cartoonishly large areola on her breasts. Like,
really, I guess I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the episode yet. It's not like that in the manga.
Yeah, watch the episode and draw your own conclusions on how they chose to stylize that. Because I don't know what it looks like in the manga, but yeah, it was again not a natural portrayal of what I think breasts usually look like.
Well, she is a snake lady.
She is a snake lady. And that actually brings me to the other point. They heavily censor any kind of like violent or gore implication, because there's a scene where they ask her like, hey, what do you look like without the snake body? And she kind of transforms and shows that she just has like big bloody stumps where her regular human legs end. But they do the mosaic censorship of that part. You know, which is nothing new, I guess. It's pretty well known that anime as an industry tends to much more heavily censor violence than it does sex, at least, you know, in the last, 20 years of production. I just find it interesting.
On that front, things are getting weird.
Yeah. You know,
I mean, it's sort of like the bug thing, right? Whereas like,
well,
the censoring cockroaches was like a funny gag, and then slowly as it's done in
now everybody does it.
Single thing, I'm like, hold on a second.
Or the other thing
I thought this was a joke.
Is vomiting up a rainbow. Like that is everywhere now. I thought that it was just a funny gag in Chainsaw Man, but now I think that it was probably referential even at that point. You know, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, no, it's so old. Like that is like epic bacon shit.
Okay, all right. You know, it's like, at what point does acknowledging the censorship and playing into it just become compliance versus like something that you're being mandated to do, right?
It's very strange. It's
Yeah.
a lot of strange choices.
So
I don't know. It's you know, not to wrap all the way back around, but yeah, you know, maybe editorial came in and we're like, I mean, yeah, the story is like all over the place. Maybe you can like fill in the gaps with some like sexy cosplay. I don't know. Can you jam that in there? I mean, she is a snake, like a naked snake lady.
yeah, you know,
They're like, yeah, I guess.
somehow
I kind of want to do this weird thing about like gender and being a vengeful god, but I guess we could do sexy cosplay. Why not? Fuck it.
Well, I think that yes, I think that is something that the author really wanted to explore more. As to whether the sexiness was mandated, you know, again, not entirely convinced that was the case in this one. I think that maybe the author is just a weird pervert like that, like so many are. But I do like the interplay between like Dara-san's like acceptance of being a new identity distinct from her old one, and how her confusion at the gender identity of the two main siblings kind of contrasts each other. And by the end of the second episode, she starts to make that connection where she's like, what, you know, I don't really understand, you know, why you guys dress the way you do, but I guess it's kind of like how I'm not like who I used to be anymore. I'm this new person that I'm choosing to be. So I guess I get it that way.
The kids are like, we don't understand it either.
We're just doing it. We're just going with the flow.
We're just doing it, man. That's how it's done these days.
I mean, their entire argument is like, well, feels good, man. I'm just doing it.
Yeah, feels good, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
So,
and that's that's Reiwa, right?
That is in Reiwa.
And what is that?
That is the current era that we're in.
That's the era?
Yeah, that's the era.
What was the one before that?
I don't know.
Taisho?
Taisho era? What was that? I think that was the 80s.
That was the 80s? What was before that?
Let's see.
Read so much manga.
Okay, all right,
watched so much anime.
So,
how do I not fucking know this shit?
So 90s to 2020 was the Heisei era. And then before that was Showa, then Taisho, then Meiji, then Edo.
Okay.
And then we can go all the way back to the Jomon if we want to get specific with it.
Never even heard of that one.
But yes.
Never even heard of it.
I learned recently that the eras are named after whoever the current emperor is. I didn't know that until very recently.
Oh, I think I did know that because of the Edo.
All right.
The Edo one.
So, do you want to talk about that manga before we wrap up for the week?
Sure. This will be quick because it's about the end of the Edo era.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I said I was reading some Taniguchi Jiro.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were ever going to circle back to that one because you brought him up and then we kind of spiraled off into a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, no, that's just I just thought the Mobia's
okay, all right,
intro was funny, but I was reading that because I was looking for more Matsumoto Jiro work, who I've said many times on the show is like one of my favorite artists. And also a deeply like insane person who is very odd. He's a very odd, weird, maybe dangerously criminally insane person whose art is fantastic and I really like it. He's the one who drew Jigoku no Alice in Hell, which I've talked about a long time ago. He's also the one that drew a very interesting, weird, horrifying series about it's a mech manga where a future military is duking it out with like criminals and Japanese rebels who are all piloting mechs. The big twist being that they are Ava style mechs where it requires like a bio-neural interface that goes two ways.
Uh-huh.
And the mechs are they're schoolgirls in sailor uniforms.
Oh.
And they you get inside their heads, and the pilots can't pilot them for more than a few years because otherwise they start going insane and thinking that they're schoolgirls. And once that happens, they start doing things like trying to answer cell phones that don't exist and like text emojis and stuff. It's incredibly bizarre and violent. Extraordinarily weird.
I need to clarify. The pilots are piloting the schoolgirls?
Yes, they are like 100 feet tall Japanese schoolgirls.
Okay, so the robot schoolgirls are giant and they're being piloted by regular sized people.
Yes.
Okay, now this leads to the question, why did they make them look like that?
Because Matsumoto Jiro likes drawing Japanese schoolgirls with big ass fucking AKs and throwing grenades and shit.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Feels like
he's really into that.
You can do that with like average size schoolgirls.
Oh, he's done it.
Oh,
you think he hasn't done that? He's done that too. Okay, he's got all the bases are covered. He's done that. He's done the mech thing. He's done it all. But he did do the one I was reading was something that he did very differently, because it's written by somebody else. It's written by Yoshio Nagai, called A Dog's Life, and this is something that meshes really well with our show because it is about the end of the Edo era, where the Satsuma samurai are just wandering through Edo, just like murdering people at random to cause like horrifying political terror. And one lord decides they hatch this scheme where they're going to create a samurai black ops team by recruiting a bunch of peasants and making them essentially be like a suicide squad.
Wait, so
that they will unleash into the city and kill the rampaging terrorist samurai.
They're doing The Boys, but on samurai instead of superheroes.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And this series is mostly about how the peasants are constantly abused by the samurai, and samurai are essentially a deeply, deeply evil social class. And the conflict between a class-conscious peasant who is being raised into a quote-unquote samurai and having deeply conflicting feelings about it, while also taking out his like class rage on other real samurai. And the manga's explicit position is that like samurai are scum. Like they're the scum of the earth, and like eradicating them is for the social good.
I mean, we've talked about it quite a bit that samurai samurai are just cops. Like they were just cops.
Yeah.
You know, they were an enshrined warrior class of people that at different times had more or less broad authority to just like kill anybody that they came across. And they've been heavily sanitized.
So explicit. This is a manga about this. I mean, the beginning of the manga itself is literally establishing that wandering samurai will humiliate peasants when they're feeling merciful, and when they want to have some fun, they will test their swords out on them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Which has an actual name, but I don't remember it. There's like an actual name for that concept.
And that also,
test their swords out.
There's been varying, conflicting reports throughout history of whether or not that was as common as some people like. I'm not saying that it didn't happen or that, samurai weren't like horrific murderers and warlords.
Whose side are you on here?
I'm just saying that, everybody talks shit about each other. It goes both ways.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure the peasants really inflicted a lot of violence against, a lot of undue violence against the military class.
Well, it's not that it's that a lot of those reports were written by rival aristocratic factions, not by the peasants themselves.
Sure. Manga are not history books.
Yes.
But I think this is a really interesting, fun, unique manga. In the pantheon of like historical period samurai manga, this one being about like a not samurai who is essentially being tricked by a landlord into pretending to be a samurai in order to sacrifice himself for an incredibly unstable political situation unfolding like without his consent. And it's a very, very explicitly anti-samurai manga. I think even more so than like Last Samurai Standing, which I talked about a little while ago.
Yeah, well,
which is also about like the eradication of samurai.
The one that comes to mind for me is like the only other anime that I've seen that takes that explicit anti-samurai stance is Samurai Champloo. But, you know, well, I mean, I rewatched that.
A little more lighthearted.
It is a little more lighthearted, obviously, but it still has the general theme of every time they run into like an actual samurai, like they're pompous assholes who are abusing their authority, right? You know, obviously it takes a much more fantastical tone, lighthearted tone, because at the end of the day, it's trying to make all of this stuff look like really cool, because that's what
cool and fun.
Yeah, because that's what Shinichiro Watanabe does. That's what he does best. Yeah. But you know, playing into the whole like, you know, hip hop theme, it does acknowledge that like samurai sucked, and that's like one of the things that I liked about Samurai Champloo.
Yeah.
So this also sounds like in line with that.
Yes. A Dog's Life by Yoshio Nagai and Jiro Matsumoto is a very unique and interesting like period piece that is like unflinchingly political in a way that, you know, even a lot of the bigger works that, you know, are taken seriously in like the political historical manga space, you know, thinking about Vagabond, which I like quite a lot, and does not like, you know, mince words about the samurai class, but of course is about Miyamoto Musashi, so it's coming at this thing from a very, very different perspective. This one I find to be fantastically strange and weird and brutal and completely unromantic. It does not romanticize anything about this political era or about sword fighting or about like being a cool warrior or even about like being a peasant fighting back against an aristocracy. None of this stuff is like romanticized in any way. It is like a brutal, unflinching look at a very, very sad and horrifying era in Japanese history.
Yeah.
It's really fucking good. Sometimes you find a manga and it's like, this is really good. This is one of those times. This one is like really fucking good. And Matsumoto Jiro is just, again, like one of the best to ever do this art shit. Check out some of the Jiro shit. Check out Jigoku no Alice for sure, because that one is absolutely batshit insane, and I really like it. That's maybe my favorite work. But also the big, I don't know, schoolgirl manga.
The giant robot one?
The schoolgirl mech manga. Read that one. If you just want to see like schoolgirls with, you know, ARs or whatever, that one's called Hiroko at After School.
Let's be honest. The people out there today that want to go see a Japanese schoolgirl with some kind of heavy machine weaponry, they're living in a abundant time. They have a glut of options available to them. But
honestly, nobody is doing it.
No one's doing
like
it as good as
Matsumoto
this.
Jiro. Nobody is doing it like this dude. It is like, you just got to see it. You got to see it in action, man, because this is just like, that one is called Joshi Kohai.
Joshi Kohai.
Yeah. Kohei? Joshi Kohei. Matsumoto Jiro. One of the most insane fucking things.
Just learn to read Japanese, man.
I can't do it. I'm not doing it.
All right. I am literally boiling alive right now. We've got to cut this off before I have to you go to the hospital.
I'm done. I just wanted to reiterate the fuck samurai thing.
All right.
Because I've been reading that manga and I love it.
All right, beautiful, tall, handsome listener. Go out there, leave the comments, ring the bells, download our stuff.
By the way, I'm cooking up a new ending.
He's cooking up a new ending.
Yeah, I don't have it yet, but we're going to shift it up.
Listen, I'm gonna stick to the classics until you got something new. Be my guest.
I'm working on it. Be excited for that. That's coming in maybe the next episode, maybe the one after that. I don't know.
New Edie song, new Edie animation. Be on the lookout. All right. Until next time. Bye.
It's actually like really crazy that you would lump that into the category of every movie. That's fucking Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.